Greetings and welcome back to my channel. The mentioned is the question that I'm going to try to answer with this video, and we may do so because I have gathered all of the details about the fast fashion items I have added this past year. I was one of fast fashion for quite a while and then definitely got back into the devil's claws, and I have a complete list of everything I've added from fast fashion as a result. It is 23 items for the full amount of 737 francs or dollars. It's almost the same as the US dollar. I want to dissect what I have bought and ultimately look at what was something I end up genuinely appreciating and what I could have gone just as easily about, and then I have sort of like some items in the middle. So you will see a list or the full list of the items that I have bought this year. Then you will see two numbers. The first is the price of the item in dollars, and the next is the amount of times I have worn that item since I bought it. Then you also have some that are highlighted in orange and some that are highlighted in blue. The items that are highlighted in orange are the pieces that I could have just as easily gone without. Looking back, I just did not need them even if they were worn. And then you have the blue highlight, which is the items that ultimately I am actually very glad that I've added. They serve a purpose in my wardrobe. And then you have those that aren't highlighted, which is 7 items. Those are the rest. Ultimately, the things that I'm okay with having in my wardrobe, but I could have probably also gone without. So these are the 3 categories. I'm gonna go into each of them, and I did make the notes for this video almost 3 months ago, so there are actually even things within the list now that has changed. So I thought it would be a really interesting experiment to sort of look back at what I've shopped, because I think a lot of the time we don't get to do that, and hopefully this will teach me a little bit about what diving into my old bad habit has done for me and my wardrobe. First, I want to get into the things that are definitely out. We have a lot of to talk about, so I am going to try to move quickly while still giving you the details I feel like you need. So the first things that I could have definitely gone without are a pink racerback and a white racerback shirt, each $10 from H&M. Could have gone without them because ultimately it's just really not my style, but I do see them all over, and even though I kind of knew it wasn't my style, I still sort of wanted them because I wanted to put them under blazers and stuff like that during the summer. And as you can see, I end up wearing the pink one 8 times, so in that sense it was not in vain. But the thing is, yes, I wore it 8 times also because I feel like at the point of the summer I was still looking for other things that I would be able to wear the days that I would have ultimately worn this. But the thing is, when those 8 days were up, at the end of that, I did have to wear something else anyway because the top absolutely lost its color. The pink looked so cute until I washed it once, and then I'll usually get comments saying that I probably didn't take care of it properly, but that's just not the case. It really is just some of these pieces do not hold up in color, and that was no different from this. Then the white racerback, only wore that once. I'm still gonna keep it in my wardrobe. The other one I have decluttered because it just does not look nice. It makes me sad to look at it. But the white one I will keep. But ultimately, it's also about learning something from the purchases that you shouldn't necessarily have made, because sometimes we won't know until we know. But I'm gonna go into another video, like on a longer version of what I learned from pieces like this. But I'm still gonna keep the white one in my wardrobe, but I'm not gonna get something that looks exactly like it again, that's for sure. Then the next thing that I definitely could have gone without is linen pants from H&M. I did wear these 4 days, but ultimately, again, I would want a nicer quality version of these pants, and I just really didn't need them that much. The 4 days that I did wear them, I could have worn something else, so that really is what it comes down to. I also bought the exact same ones in white, and the days I needed to wear long pants for summer, I could have grabbed for the white ones, even though actually those weren't the ones I ended up wearing the most. I still see it that way. And then the next thing I shouldn't have bought, or definitely could have gone without, is my orange blazer. Now there are some reasons why I did decide to add an orange blazer, even though it was from H&M. If you've been here for a while, you know the story. But because again this video is gonna get long, I'll skip through it. My point is just, at the time I felt justified in purchasing it, and I did also end up wearing it 6 times. But I do have a pink blazer also from H&M, which is also a pastel color, and ultimately the days where I wore the orange blazer, I could have just worn the pink blazer those additional 6 times. So in the end, I also don't think that that was necessary at all. Then I bought a pair of Sarah slides. I won't go into this too much because it's pointless, but damn, these shoes are just not comfortable. I bought them so that I would have summer shoes to trash, but even when I need something to trash, I don't think I will wear them, because when I'm not comfortable in my footwear, I mean, yeah, that was a mistake purchase by far, and I would have been better off not getting them. Then there is I think this is a bit more controversial on my list, which is a striped button up from Sarah, blue and white striped one in 100% cotton. I do love a blue and white striped shirt. I feel like that is sort of like a staple within my wardrobe, so I tend to add one of them every once in a while, but this was just such poor quality. I have worn it 8 times, but it's already too ugly to wear it again. I'll try to include it in another video so you can see what I mean. Even though, of course, I did get 8 times of wear out of it, in that sense it was good because I did really enjoy wearing it, but 8 times out of a shirt is just, it's not enough. And this is something that I already knew in my gut and with experience that is likely to happen, but sometimes, especially when I haven't been adding fast fashion for a while, you know, I will take in different inputs from you guys. Like, they're definitely always watching my channel. Some of you are in one camp and some are in the other, and I often find myself like somewhere right in the middle. And when I felt justified and decided to add this shirt, I was sort of like, well, maybe this fast fashion stuff to a certain extent is all in my head, and I'll be fine adding some basics from Sarah and stuff like that. And maybe in some cases it's true, but in this case it definitely wasn't. So you are definitely gambling, and I was, and it did not pay off to the extent that I think that it should. And I will be decluttering that very soon. Then the next thing on my list is a bag from Sarah. I did get this so that I could trash it with sunscreen and wet towels at the lake, and that is exactly what I did. I also did end up wearing it 12 times, but way more than this one. I just ended up wearing my regular tote bag. Again, this is the case where like I could have just worn my regular tote bag 12 more times. And also this bag looked okay the first 2 times I wore it, and then after that, like, it just does not look good anymore. Surprise, surprise. Then we move a bit further down my list to get the next definitely out item, and it is a linen shirt in yellow from H&M. I actually added 4 of the linen shirts from H&M this season. I got it in yellow as one of the colors. I think I got a little bit overexcited by trying to add basics for summer. I wasn't really so confident about my summer style going into this season. I was sort of not feeling as if my wardrobe was so curated, so I definitely did a little bit of experimenting and decided to add this yellow because I thought it was really pretty, but ultimately also learned from this that I just don't need yellow in my wardrobe. I am happier with the color scheme as is right now for summer, and I don't need to add more colors to it, as I'm still adding the basics if ever. It's not the end of the world. It's also something I will keep in my wardrobe, but I could have easily lived without it, and then wore one of my other linen shirts the days I would have worn, or I did wear the yellow one. So that is in total, that is 8 items that I ended up buying that even if I did wear them, I could have easily gone without them. What like you are decluttering or getting rid of, or what is not ultimately helpful within your wardrobe. It's important to take the lessons with you before you declutter an item so that you don't, to the best of your ability, repeat the same mistake again. But we will do that in another video where I will go more into detail about what I'm learning from what I'm decluttering. Then we have some items that are definitely in. That means some items that I'm really glad still that I added or that I bought. So this is actually less money spent on the ones that I like than the ones that I don't like. It's $232 versus $260. Yeah, I did make the notes for this video almost 3 months ago, and some of my opinions have already changed, but let's just go into it. The first item that I'm ultimately glad that I added is my pink blazer from Sarah. This is like a hot pink. It's 100% visco through and through, so in that sense I would allow myself to buy it, and I did buy it and I wore it 6 times. Something actually that I feel like I have missed a little bit is some less good quality pieces that I can wear for certain things, and I haven't had any of those, so a piece like this will serve that purpose by me putting it into my storage, and then when I need something like this, like for example for like a costume or something like that, I will bring something like this out, because I did sort of trash it-ish to a party where I wouldn't wear something nice, and I did also get a bunch of like glitter glue on it. I could definitely get that cleaned up by the dry cleaner if I really wanted to, but the point I'm building on is that I did just recently add a pink blazer in much better quality that is absolutely gorgeous. So that is sort of like an upgrade from this pink blazer. So what I'm trying to say is that when I do find an item that I truly like and appreciate from fast fashion, even then I will go out and make an upgrade whenever I find something better, and that is exactly what happened here. So even though I added it to my list of things that are definitely in, or that I'm happy I added to my wardrobe, even then I could have gone without it for a while. Then another thing I added, this is a crop top from H&M that I just found so cute. Honestly, I did wear it only 3 times. I bought it in the late summer, and there's not much more to say. This is just a really cute top, and it's a little bit, to me it looks a little bit like a Reformation piece. It is also a cotton and linen blend, and I have had pretty good experience with linen pieces from H&M, just saying. But yeah, a lot of the things that I'm listing here you can buy elsewhere in better quality, but sometimes a design will show up that you just really like, and then it's definitely harder not to pull the trigger, and that was sort of this crop top for me. So at least that's still how I feel about it. I'm happy to have bought it also for the mere price of 20, which of course is often the tempting part of buying fast fashion. Then I have a pair of pants in linen, the same as the black pair. I did put them as definitely in, but actually now looking at the list, yes, it's good that I have a pair like that because I don't have a better pair that is equivalent right now, and it is nice to have a pair of linen pants. But I'm sure that that will also ultimately change when and if I find something comparable that is in greater quality. But ultimately right now I'm still kind of happy that I bought them. Like, it was nice knowing that I had the option to wear long pants even if I actually only wore them in that color once. And then the next part I got was a shirt dress from H&M. It's just a totally normal, kind of thick actually, cotton shirt from H&M, and this sort of helped me to discover a new outfit formula for me for summer, which is basically a shirt dress with a belt. I did make an upgrade after that. I bought one similar preppy version from Uniqlo that I end up wearing more, but still this shirt dress from H&M, I did end up wearing it 11 times, and then of course next year I will continue to wear it. It's also something that I will trash a little bit when I go to the lake, stuff like that. I don't really have to worry about taking such great care of it, but ultimately I am really glad that I bought it, and hopefully it will last a while within my wardrobe. I could see that happening because the cotton of it is quite sturdy. It is sort of like a thick piece. I had really some success with my H&M pieces, which, yeah, that's a little bit difficult to say and to admit, because I feel like when it comes to my winter wardrobe, it's so well curated that buying fast fashion made less sense. But going into summer, I definitely panicked a little bit, realizing that I didn't feel like I looked stylish. I didn't really have a summer wardrobe that I was satisfied with, and yes, having a great quality wardrobe is really important to me, but you know, you sort of have like your values competing with you, and another value, whether I want it or not, for me is looking stylish, or what I perceive to be looking stylish, and I didn't feel like I was stylish at all going into summer, and I definitely panic bought some things that I felt like I needed, including 2 pairs of denim jeans or denim shorts from H&M, a blue pair and a white pair. So of course I haven't worn them that much, 5 and 8 times. And then also a white linen pair of shorts from H&M that I wore 6 times each for $25 each. But these were just great basic pieces for me to create outfits with throughout the summer. And yeah, I'm really happy that I have them. Ultimately, we will see with time how much they will each last, but it's also not something that I'm planning to continue to do. Like with time, for example, it would be really nice to have another pair of linen shorts, but those, for example, being a much better looking tailored pair. But for now, I was happy to just have something that looked good to wear short term. And then I also added 4 linen shirts, which again, they haven't been worn that much each. 8 to 7 times. Of course, now here I only highlighted in blue the white one, because ultimately I feel like that was the only one that really I love and needed. So yeah, I added it in white and it is just still beautiful. Of course, it's only been worn 8 times, but things can fall apart much quicker than that. So that is something I am pretty happy with. Yeah, that's another definitely in thing. I definitely see myself, that's just being honest, someday when and if this shirt doesn't look so good anymore, I could see myself adding just another one from H&M, because with a white shirt in summer, sunscreen, everything all over, sometimes it can be really nice to keep your white shirts good looking, and in that case it is nice to have something that doesn't really cost that much. Then after that I have the rest, which I like to call them. This is 7 items, which is the blue sweater top that I've worn 4 times, my pink blazer from H&M. Actually, I really loved having that one, but ultimately the quality is so bad and it already looks so bad. I think I would have been better off with something else. But it's also, I mean, it's hard to say, because I mean, I could have just worn the hot pink blazer for whatever I would have worn this from. I think what I ultimately learned from this pink blazer from H&M is that I am definitely going to get this kind of pink color in a blazer that is a bit nicer and doesn't fall apart on me straight away, and probably doesn't have a polyester lining, because I did really enjoy it. I just don't think it is, yeah, I could have probably, at this point it's no longer needed in my wardrobe, because I will have to get rid of it because it does not look good. Then I have my Sarah dress in white. Actually, now looking back on it, I definitely want to put it as an orange highlight, just because this looked amazing the 3 times. Then I washed it and now it's too small, and I washed it cold. I really take care of pieces like this, even though they are fast fashion, especially because they are fast fashion. But yeah, the shape was just it was just different after I washed it, which is just really annoying, and it was short enough as is. Then I could have also gone without my blue linen crop top from, oh my god, sorry, just realizing now that it was another crop top I was talking about from H&M before. Okay, yeah, because the crop top I was talking about earlier with the flowers is actually this one that I put under the rest, but actually that one, now I would like to put it in blue because I am really excited about it. But the other crop tops, now we're just mixing them around, is this black crop top from H&M that, oh my god, yeah, I totally forgot about that, of course, because now I haven't been able to wear it for months. But that one was really nice with something high-waisted, like for example with the pants. This is also something that it's a bit annoying. Obviously it wasn't pricey at all, and I did only wear it 3 times, but it is really gorgeous, and this is definitely something that I would also like to have in better quality. But yeah, also pretty happy with that purchase. Then I have my no sleeve blue top from Sarah. This was another purchase where, you know, you walk into a store and you just have this like tingling feeling of wanting to add something new to your wardrobe, wanting to buy something. And I felt like I needed it because I was starting to wear my blue wool skirt and wanted something to top it with that wasn't like a super woolly piece of clothing, that was still somewhat summer-ish appropriate, and added this shirt from Sarah, which, I mean, I wore it 5 times and it was great, I'm sure, but ultimately also not necessary. And then of course I have 2 more linen shirts, the black one from H&M and the beige one from H&M, which it's fine that I have them. Not sure I 100% needed them, even though I am wearing them, obviously, especially the beige one. I've worn it 7 times, so in that sense it's good. It's just that how needed it was, I'm not sure, you know. I'll leave that up to interpretation. Then at the end of that, it is 23 items total that I added from fast fashion during my hiatus. And actually not even that is 100% true, because I did just add a black blazer from H&M. But this is, I have already calculated everything, so I just want to talk about my notes that I made 3 months ago. I tried to keep track of and then later on dissect what I'm buying, even as I'm making mistakes, because sometimes it's so easy to just sort of like pull one over on yourself and just like ignore what you're doing, which to a certain extent, of course, I have been doing, because some sort of cognitive dissonance has to go into sort of ignoring your own values. Like basically what it is of course like a, what do you say, like a breach in your own integrity. And that's something that can be a little bit difficult with having this channel, because when I started the channel, it was sort of like to just document and like a cathartic way to, yeah, share like my wardrobe journey. And obviously now, as I've grown an audience, I've opened myself up to, yeah, like judgment and discussion, and that's totally fine. Honestly, like that's what you sign up for. But it can be hard to watch that, as I'm just still trying to figure out my own values and like my own way, and then yeah, going back to like making mistakes and stuff like that again. There still has to be room for that, I want to say, but I'm also not sure that that's true either. I'm not sure there has to be room for that, but ultimately that is what has happened. That's the thing, like I did buy, you know, 8 items that I'm pretty happy with, and then on the other end of the spectrum, 8 items that could have gone without, and then I have the rest, which are 7. So ultimately it's 8 items out of 23 that were worth it. And when you really look at it like that, instead of looking at the fact that I got 23 items for the price of $737, if you look at it instead of saying that I got 8 items out of the $732, then all of a sudden each item has cost on average $92. And I could have gotten 8 much nicer items for $92 each, and then swinging a little bit in prices there as well. And that's just like what's so wild, because these smaller numbers really do add up. But of course that is also just sort of like in a perfect world. That's why it's so important to get better at curating our own wardrobe and really take in these lessons, so that ultimately we can do better with our purchases later on. Because yes, in a perfect world, then I would have bought 8 perfect items that would have perfectly worked for my wardrobe at $92 each. But instead I ended up with 23 items, 15 of which I did not need, which is just so terrible. And at the end of the day, yeah, wow, that is just so wild. But that is what I already knew, and then, you know, facing again at the end of this hiatus that I've done. So what do you take from that? I am honestly still taking it all in myself. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, here's another couple of videos from me that you two think you might want to watch, and I will see you in the next one.